Tell me your problem.
Have you ever heard of the prophet Arvid?
No. Should I have?
Oh yeah! He's the founder of our order. The reason why the clerics exist.
Tell me about Arvid.
Well, sure, okay. Like I said, he's the founder of our order. He was born about 200 years ago, we think, and he was the first to be enlightened by Kalan. After the comet hit, it was his burden and his privilege to lead people into a new future, to save those who had survived. The first followers were here, in the Horde. They had saved technology from destruction, and Kalan showed them how that technology could be used to help all the people of Magalan. They reached out to others, but not everyone listened. You can see what became of the rest when you look to Tavar.
What did Arvid do?
He wrote the rules that have bound us here in the Horde. And our ancestors began research on how ELEX could be used for the good of all. With it, even though our community was small, we were able to defend ourselves from the malice of the godless.
All seems a bit vague.
Yes, I know. I mean, some details have been lost in time. Some believe Arvid still remains among us, although that is nonsense. Some uneducated people wanted to proclaim him a god, even during his lifetime, but he always spurned this idea. It is likely that he saw his time coming. According to the lore, grief about the unreasonableness of people tore him apart from the inside. And when he could take the pain no longer, it is said that he left the people with the words of Kalan and went into the Great Light. Scholars are still arguing to this day about what the Great Light is exactly. Some say that he rose to heaven to Kalan. Others claim that he set forth to find the reason for the crater. But that's exactly my point. I want to know more, but only certain scholars are allowed to see the text. But there's something about Arvid, something about those early works that doesn't make sense. And I can't work out why. But will they let me in the archives to study his writings? No. I sneaked in, they threw me out. I was lucky to avoid re-education. Concentrate on what's right here, right now, they told me. It is only possible to change the future if you draw the correct conclusions from the past, they said.
So you need access to the archives?
No. Well, yeah, that would be great, but for now, I just need a book. All that I want is a copy of Arvid's teachings. There has to be a written copy, or a recorded copy somewhere. It's just not available to us out here. And that bugs me. So, do you think you can get into the archives and get it for me?
So, why don't you ask if you can work in the archives?
You think I haven't thought of that? I'm barred. Punishment for breaking in. And I've no idea when they'll allow me back. I would like to give you the following, in any case, before you are on your way. I am certain that I can get something from the recordings that will be of use to all of us. Then, maybe, I'll finally understand what our purpose is.
Why is this book so secret?
Because we are to serve Kalan in combat and not to interpret his words. They say we are missing the necessary vision to understand his divine message. But I would like to learn that for myself instead of having it spoon-fed to me. Maybe it's nothing, but I can't let it go.
What can you tell me about the archives?
It's a store of knowledge from before the comet hit, and it is where all information found in the rest of the world is brought. Our archivists are attempting to glean all sorts of information from the scraps of data we were able to retrieve from outside the Horde. The work is very time-intensive, so the archivists don't like it at all when people interrupt their work. So, they will have you thrown out if you manage to get into the archives without authorization.
I will get you the book from the archives.
Thank you. This is one mystery I can't wait to solve.
Any suggestions for how I get into the archives?
I've been thinking about that, and there are 3 ways. You could watch to see when Carl, the guard on the archives, leaves his post. That might take a few hours, and I personally have never seen him leave his post. But hey, he has to move at some point, doesn't he? Or you could access the security console and put your name on the access list. But the simplest and most obvious solution is for you to join the clerics.
State your business. Only officially authorized personnel may enter.
How many times are you going to repeat that?
Until you understand that only authorized personnel may enter.
Get out of the way.
The archives are restricted. Why should I let you enter?
Is there a special password?
What? No. You just need to be authorized.
Another thing about the archives. Is there a copy of Arvid's teachings in the archive?
Of course, all of Arvid's wisdom that remains is stored here.
What is in the book?
His prophecies and principles of life, around which we guide our lives. The greatest portion of Arvid's knowledge is encrypted. Even today, we are struggling to understand it.
Encrypted? In what way?
Some of it is in code, some of it is written as parables. So is open to interpretation. It is for those who concentrate on study to reveal these mysteries to us. As I said, only a few of us can truly understand his words, and so see the wisdom of Kalan.
Can I read Arvid's teachings?
You? No.
Why not?
Because only those chosen to study his writings may do so. You have not been chosen.
I think I've heard enough about that.
Good.
What are you studying?
Everything that brings us closer to our goal.
What does that mean?
It means passing Kalan's tests. Kalan only takes those who are pure, and so to preach his words, we must be the purest of all. And knowledge, facts, interpretation, and analysis are the purest form of all devotion. And science is the purest of all the forms of study. It brings clarity to the mind. To achieve purity of the soul, we must understand ourselves. The berserkers and the outlaws will never have the discipline for that. They live in the moment. We have committed ourselves to the future. May Kalan open the infinite skies for us all.
Do you also study the old world?
Of course. If we repeat the mistakes of our ancestors, it could lead to another catastrophe. That is one of the reasons why we only task those with the strongest wills to study. Who knows what corrupting influences these artifacts could have?
Where do you get the material to study?
It takes persistence and luck. We send out our reclamation squads to search old world ruins. First, the selected area has to be pacified. As soon as that is done, we begin salvaging the valuable pieces and bringing them here.
How can I get on a reclamation squad?
You can't. We have specialists for that work. Trust me, you wouldn't want to.
You must be dedicated to do this role.
It's my life. I guard here. I keep the archives safe. I draw strength from Kalan. A prayer break in the night is enough to keep me going for the rest of the day. Now, do us both a favor and leave. This area is off limits. What are you doing?
Name added to the access list. That should get me in.
Alt, State your business. Only officially authorized personnel may enter.
How many times are you going to repeat that?
Until you understand that only authorized personnel may enter.
Get out of the way.
The archives are restricted. Why should I let you enter?
Because I'm authorized to enter.
We will see. One moment. You're right. But I don't remember seeing your name on the list beforehand. It seems you are authorized. Please enter, but I beg you, do not disturb the archivists. Remember, silence is a virtue.
What you wanted.
Unbelievable. Now, I can finally read Arvid's original text. You really did me a big favor.
If that is the case, then pay me.
I can't value what you did for me in shards. This work is priceless.
Just try it.
Well, I don't have much. If you did this for money, I hope you're satisfied with that. Oh, yeah. If I find anything interesting in these writings, I will let you know. That's the least I can do for you.